athletes and fans around the world, welcome to another episode of Primetime Muscle. I'm Tim Wilkins, joined by these two amazing guys right here. Tarek Gilgindy, good to see you, my friend.
Great to see you. You got the green tie, the green shirt. You look like $50,000.
A lot of scratching to be done. It felt like I won the lottery today. We'll confirm that after and let you know.
I do like the line with the line tie jump off. I do like that.
You know, working with you makes us all step up our game a little.
Well, that's what I'm here for. Step up your game.
Work out a little harder, dress a little nicer.
He's wearing the Trump outfit. That's all good.
Yeah, no, Donald loved the red tie. So a lot of politicians wear red ties because they communicate power, you know. Red tie communicates power. So regardless of your political party, regardless of your position in your company, you want to eventually wear a red tie to communicate power and authority.
Well,
all right then.
Problem solved. So the other way to put some power and authority in it is to grow, get huge, get shredded, and compete on the world's biggest stage that is the Olympia. And a guy that's been doing that year after year and just smashing his head against that top spot, Ramon Gino. Ramon Dino, if you're in the United States and the rest of the world, from Brazil, who has just been at the top of that classic physique, just going after Bumstead year after year.
I gotta give credit to Ramon because, man, he's coming closer to Chris, and Chris is an unbelievable athlete. I mean, small waist, large clavicle bones. He's been consistent with the conditioning, even though I thought 2022 was better than 2023. But when you look at these two guys, in my personal opinion, in the male category, they're two of the best competitors we have in the world, okay? So if you were to pick your 5 best male athletes, they would by far be in there with some bodybuilders, some men's physique, some wheelchair competitors. Ramon is incredible, man. He's bubbly. His conditioning is superb. His arms are contagious. He just has to beat the man.
That's the task,
How
Chris.
is he going to beat the man? I mean, some people say, not me, but some people say he respects him too much. He respects the champion too much, likes him too much. Not going for the juggler on him. When we were competing, even though I liked Jay Cutler off stage, he was somebody I wanted to just rip his head off when we were on the stage. Same with Ronnie, same with Dexter, I just wanted to murder him, if you could, on the bodybuilding stage and get away with it. So, with that being said, do you think
those are intense words, Chris?
Do you think he respects him too much?
I think you're right. I think there's Chris is the champion. You know, here's the deal. I'm gonna tell you guys a story. Tom Brady used to go to the defensive line of the opponent team and say hi to everybody. Hey, how you doing? Keep off the backfield, you know. He would mellow them out. Put a little bit of Vaseline in them so they're like, oh, it's Tom Brady, I'm not gonna sack him. And he did that with a lot of teams, went to the backfield and say, hey, what's up? Stay off the backfield, you know? Just trying to befriend the opponent defensive line. He went on to Ndamukong Suh, one of the biggest defensive lines.
Meanest, dirtiest.
Yes.
Can you be dirty?
And he went on to him and he said, hey, friend, stay off the backfield. And Ndamukong Suh said, I'm not your friend. And Tom Brady said on the interview, I respected that. What Chris Bumstead is doing, he's doing a Tom Brady on everybody. He's hugging Urs Kalaczynski. He's going to Brazil, having lunch with Ramon Dino. He's just mellowing them out, Nico. He's just kind of, he's just mellowing them out. What we need is Ramon, Urs, Breon, and Breon has a lot, against that because Breon is
the last man that ever beat him.
Yeah, but Ramon needs to say, I'm not your freaking friend. I'm here to take your title. I'm here to put you in second place. Man, if you watch The Last Dance with Michael Jordan, he created enemies in his mind. I always tell people in the jiu-jitsu gym, if you were fighting for your life right now, you would beat the hell out of all of us. But you're just fighting to get home at 7:30. Where are the stakes? Make the stakes bigger.
We're about to go look at some pictures, but you know what struck me from earlier is the ferocity of Chris. So a lot of his early career obviously wasn't just about making winky eyes at Flex Wheeler, because that's what we've dealt with in the past. They're just doing cardio and hey Flex. I don't
Catching
know
eyes.
I don't know what you
Locking
had.
eyes.
Locking eyes.
Locking eyes.
Locking eyes.
It was like a Tim Wilkins, Ryan Terry moment there. Wait, and he said, I wanted to kill them. I wanted to rip their head apart. I wanted to murder them. And then he said, and get away with it. And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
You should have taught Craig Titus a lesson or something. Oh, man, we got to edit that. Nico, we got to edit that. Otherwise, we're going to be canceled.
Hey, he's still in. You're safe. All right. Ramon Dino, guys. Arguably, I mean, it's got to be tough. And you've been there where you're just one of the best in your sport at that moment. And then you get there and you see the mount and you go, oh, yeah, that's right, Chris Bumstead. Crap. This is amazing.
Huge arms, beautiful legs, tiny little waist. Everything is perfect. Look at the size of the quads. Look at those forearms. Even his beard is full of peptides, I mean,
Do you like his trunks?
His trunks is black. He's got the number 26. I mean, women are going crazy. This guy is the complete package. There is one thing that he doesn't have that Chris Bumstead has, which I said that in a few episodes ago. Chris Cormier, do you remember?
Killer instinct.
No, you don't.
An Olympia title?
No, you don't. America.
He has a baby.
America, listen to me. Maybe you'll learn something in this life. Chris Bumstead has large clavicle bones. When he hits his front double biceps,
Oh boy.
this is very wide. By nature, this man has rounder muscle bellies than Chris Bumstead, but his clavicle bones are not as wide as Chris.
Because you get that, Mr. Judge, you get that when you have smaller clavicle bone area. You get that type of physique. When you have the
Phil Heath, right?
Yes, Phil Heath.
Let's revisit that. Give that explanation again, because most of you don't know.
When you have a shorter clavicle area, the muscles are going to pop and be rounded more so. When you got the wider physique, it's going to take you longer to build that physique, but when you do build it, if you do build it, then you're going to have a more formidable physique for a championship. That's the prototypical thing you want to do or have as a bodybuilder. But I also think Ramon needs to improve his posing. He's been getting better, but it's still another level he needs to go to get to the next level in this competition.
So prime example of that, Chris, right here. I know we need some low lat, maybe some mid lat and some width, but if he's got that turned right and opened up, that's going to give him more width. And then to turn that fist again a little bit wider to get that.
Yes, that palm needs to be directly over that bicep peak. And the crowd is here, so you need to continue to get that more gradually turned towards the crowd so they can see that peak a little bit more. Utilize this lat a lot more than that. You could probably even open up the leg stance a little bit in that pose. But little stuff like that is going to improve that physique and improve how it's going to project to the crowd.
Now, a lot of times, guys, when two bodybuilders are going at it, you want to expose a weakness and show a strength. One of those great ones for Chris Bumstead is that Arnold pose, that twisting side back pose. Is that somewhere that Ramon could come on, pull that leg back, and give it a bigger twist, or can he not keep up?
So that's Chris's signature pose, as becoming signature pose for him, and that's not his strong point. So for him doing his strong point, trying to make it better, you gotta, I don't know, you just gotta make sure you do your thing. Don't try to do the same as Chris.
You know, classic physique is, you know, and Tyler mentioned something on the post-Olympia that Ramon had many variations on the classic physique. He should stick with one of them. And I mean, that's exactly what everybody wants. What is your biggest asset? Your freaking arms. You got monster arms. Look at this forearm. Looks like the trunk of an elephant. Come in here and do a traditional Arnold Schwarzenegger classic physique pose. Everybody in the audience, you got the legs, and just get your forearm, your biceps, and stand there looking at the judges and going, I'm the next champion. Chris is going to do what he does well. He's going to come here and open his back and show it to the world. Now, when Ramon tries to do the same thing, you're playing the same game. And like Chris said, don't play the game that the guy is an expert. Play your game.
Well, we're looking at that. We're looking at this back. The back double by has always been a Bumstead dominance. What do we need here, Chris? We need some harder, bigger separation in the quads.
You're gonna get yourself in trouble right now.
Excuse me. What'd you say? You said a Bumstead dominance?
He dominates in this
I thought you were
pose.
talking about the back double bicep.
No, in the back
okay.
back double bicep, it's one of those things where
Breon Ansley dominates the back double bicep.
Go ahead.
Breon Ansley, for the world to understand.
I will give you that
dominates the back double.
Correct.
Okay.
But among
we gotta have the facts.
Just the facts.
Just the facts. Anyway, but he has improved his back tremendously. And Dino, I mean, I thought once he came here and once he left, I thought he was going to come back with a much improved physique. I think he got a lot out of that workout here, the last battle, that first battle. Everyone was watching, and this guy was like, I could see that he was honing his mindset to bring a better physique next time. Working on the different things, he improved the abs, he improved the quads, everything has improved on this guy. Posing got better, but still needs to get a little bit more better.
Both of you, I'll ask you about this because we talked about this with Hadi Chupan in a previous episode. That loose skin, low back, we could fill that in with some mid back, some mid rows, some low rows. What are we looking at here, Chris?
Some of it is part of the. It looks like it may be. It's still his Christmas tree.
Yeah.
This part of his Christmas tree. I like to see him utilize that upper trapezius area by turning the head to the left, and that's going to give you some flexion right here in the upper middle back. And if you have your head straight like that, which is a total rookie move, then you're going to understand that it's still muscles you can flex there, and it's gonna take the overall look and make you more muscular.
He won the back double biceps this year against Chris Bumstead. Chris Bumstead lost the back double biceps for many years to Breon Ansley. Chris is absolutely right. But when he started improving his back double biceps, that's when he started surpassing Breon Ansley. Now, maybe in his first title, he still lost the back double biceps to Breon, but the complete package was superior. Chris Bumstead, the previous year, dominated from the back, and I agree with you, Tim. He beat Ramon. But this is where Ramon showed more improvement. It was his back double biceps. And after the Olympia, I interviewed head judge Steve Weinberger, and I agreed with him. We both judged Ramon beat C-Bum from the back. C-Bum was not as lean, and we didn't see that much detail.
So that's the place he's already improved but can continue to improve.
Tim, let me make this very, very clear here. Chris Bumstead is a superstar, a genetic, gifted human being. This guy is coming real close.
You called me out a few episodes ago when I said potentially there are so many up-and-comers that he is not the definitive heir apparent. I think I stand corrected. It's just a matter of if and when Chris Bumstead steps down, vacates that title, and who's there waiting in the wings to duke it out with Ramon.
You're right.
Do you think he might step down?
I think we've got another Olympia or two in Chris. We will find out very shortly.
Wow.
He's got a lot of life going on right now, expecting a baby, and a lot of business things going on. So we will find out. But we're going to keep talking about classic physique, and we're going to talk about the one and only
Breon Ansley,
Urs Kalaczynski, and their Olympia rematch that will be for sure playing itself out on stage this year.
People always ask how I got here. I was willing to work just a little harder than everyone else, every damn day. If I can have hundreds of hours back, you know I'm gonna grab them. Spending hours prepping chicken, rice, and vegetables, F that. I rely on perfect nutrition. I rely on trifecta.
And we're back on Primetime Muscle. Still talking some classic physique today. Talked about those number 1 and 2 guys, Ramon and Chris Bumstead. But a previous, one of the head campers at Camp Cormier, Breon Ansley, previous classic physique Olympia.
Yes.
One of the favorites in the sport, Urs Kalaczynski, the Miracle Bear. These two guys have been battling it out for that 3rd and 4th spot. Neither one of them happy there. What are we looking at this year, fellas?
Well. And I think you said the right thing. None of them are happy. Urs Kalaczynski came out of the Olympia saying, I wanted to be compared with Ramon and Chris Bumstead.
And what did
Breon, well, he didn't ask me. Breon was thinking to himself, hey man, I think I beat Urs Kalaczynski and I should have been between Ramon and Chris Bumstead.
Just the facts.
Urs Kalaczynski did not present his best physique at the Olympia. His conditioning was not as good as the previous year. I even felt like in some areas he was a bit downsized. I think he missed his final days of preparation and he missed his peak.
I am a big fan of both of these guys, gents. Breon knows I am a huge Breon fan. You're well aware.
Yeah.
I won't recuse myself, but I will say this. I thought he beat him. I'm going to go on record and say I thought Breon should have, at least 3rd. Breon should have been 3rd.
I feel like we don't give this guy enough credit, and I think it's being a disservice to greatness.
First of all,
he also won the first classic Arnold Schwarzenegger classic champion, Breon Ansley. He not only won the Olympia twice, he's won a few other competitions. The New York Pro, he went down to what was it? Florida.
Oh yeah,
he won down there. He won
Tampa Pro.
I mean Tampa. He's the one everywhere.
Sounds great. Listen to me carefully. First of all, can you please tuck in your shirt? For the love of God. This is not an R-rated. Sorry to the audience. I want to preserve you. Nobody is disputing the fact that Breon Ansley is one of the greatest classic physique competitors. He beat Chris Bumstead plenty of times. He's one of the best. His conditioning was improved. And many people, and I believe even some judges, believe that he was superior than Urs Kalaczynski at the Olympia. But one thing is for sure,
no but.
Breon Ansley is not happy placing 4th. Well, he's not happy placing 3rd.
No.
He's not happy placing 2nd.
No.
So why are you asking for one more placing?
I think the world would have liked to have seen him and Chris Bumstead on the same stage battling, not off to the side or something like that. So I think that's.
Let's pick it apart though, Chris. Let's just go clavicle to clavicle, pose to pose. You got the better striations, the deeper muscle bellies, of course, because he's got the age and the muscle maturity on him. The shoulder was more rounded. The delt.
But he was just holding a lot more water than what he should have. Urs was this year, and I thought, that's saying something. If a judge is going to still put you 3rd, you're obviously holding water.
He's wide. He has a beautiful wide structure. His waist is small, right? He's got the long legs with a short torso. Breon has a little bit of a longer torso with a so structurally sound.
Excuse me?
Structurally, Urs Kalaczynski can look a little bit more aesthetic than Breon. Now, Breon has beautiful density and his conditioning is on point. Like I said, guys, it was very close. You could very well put Breon in 3rd and Urs in 4th. But again, none of them would be happy with that. And we're talking about them winning. Urs missed his peak with his beautiful structure. He missed his peak. Now, I love Breon Ansley. And we talk about his back separation and his back detail. But Chris, wouldn't you agree? And I know you're the coach. He could have, this is going to touch his soul, he could have a little bit more back width.
What do you mean back width? I mean, the guy, he's for 5'6.5". Okay, so how much width you gonna have?
On that back double biceps,
quality.
On that back double biceps, he's got tremendous girth and separation. But if his back was just a little bit wider on this back double biceps, it would benefit him tremendously, especially against guys like Sebum and Ramon, because their backs are coming wider. Sebum is the one with the widest back, even though he missed detail. But I just think that one of the few flaws in Breon Ansley is, despite having the best separation, the best thickness, I think he needs width on the back.
Do you see what I meant by turning the head to the side and utilizing that upper trapezius? And then you see here, he's got the front. He's just having his head straight ahead.
Well, there's all kinds of wrong going on. What would you? I'd bring his elbows up. I'd turn his knuckles in and get the biceps to pop. But you're missing so much detail, and it's just not a matter of conditioning. You've got to have the muscle to condition underneath the surface. So he's got to, like Tarek said, tons of potential, beautiful structure, beautiful frame, tiny waist. But when you look over here, you say, all right, this is the finished product. That's the middle. It's not a before. It's the mid. That's the before. And that's the after.
And won a couple world championships. Let's just throw that in there. So he's been the top of the echelon of the sport. He was the prime example of what they wanted for many years out of Classic. And I just feel like, there's always going to be a tide of younger guys coming up. Urs is the youngest, I think, out of the crew.
Oh, by far.
I think he's 24, I guess, something like that.
Well, Chris, listen, nobody's disputing the fact Breon Ansley is a machine. He could very well place ahead of Urs and possibly beat Ramon and Sebum. He has done it. But like we've seen, the first Classic Physique champion was Denny Hester. Breon Ansley surpassed him. Okay, Chris Bumstead couldn't beat, Breon Ansley. When he won his first title, he said, man, I was getting tired of chasing Breon Ansley. But one of the poses that he lost to Breon was the back double biceps. And eventually he closed the gap. He didn't beat him on the back double biceps on the year that he won the title. He didn't beat him, but he closed the gap. He closed the gap.
So part to part here, gents. The arms look pretty darn close. I mean, you're not winning any contest here. You're almost there between the front double by and
I don't think.
No?
I don't think Urs can touch him in the front double.
No, but the rest of the front double, you got some good width starting out on Urs. A year from now, that width is going to be glorious. Could have been tighter in the midsection. He's got the vacuum going, but still, so does Breon, and he's got abs.
Yeah, Urs, I mean, he vacuums that body up. And you got a nice wide physique on him as far as like through the torso area. I mean, and you don't really need to have, it helps a lot, but you don't really need to have an overwhelmingly size in the arms. It's not necessary, especially when you have the overall package Urs has. And I think it's just going to be a matter of time. He's just that's his age right now. But moving forward, he's going to be very, very much going for the title year after year.
Let's get down to business here. Let's lose some followers. You're saying, both of you are saying, and listen, rightfully so, I could see your theory coming together, that Breon beat Urs.
Yeah.
Where would Breon finish this past Olympia?
He should have been going for first or second.
He should have beaten Ramon and Sebum.
I just thought Ramon was a little better than Chris, and I thought he was a little better than Urs.
Okay, what about you, Tim?
I had him third.
But you didn't think he beat Ramon or Sebum. Did you have Ramon beating Sebum?
A lot of poses.
In a couple poses, yeah.
A lot of poses.
Not the whole way through.
They only have 4.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me give you their Instagram handle. Go ahead.
_ Chris Cormier.
He made a statement that Chris Bumstead lost to Ramon Dino.
Only the facts. We just need the facts.
What about you?
My Instagram handle is TK_Gindi.
Hey! I judge it. I don't speculate. Just the facts.
Well, we're judging the past, but these two guys are going to be duking it out this year. And again, neither one of them are coming back for third and fourth. They're coming back to win, or they're not coming at all.
But also, Tarek, Chris did say that he was not at his best.
Oh, yeah.
Urs says he's not at his best. And then the other two guys that placed behind him, Dino and Breon, they were lights out.
Yeah.
Their best. So it just makes sense.
Yeah. Well,
Makes sense.
guys, we're going to switch gears when we come back, and we're going to talk about men's physique. We got two other guys that are chewing their way up the top. One that's been there for a couple years, and one that made a big splash this year across the board, and I think he was 4th or 5th. We're going to talk about that when we come back. There's very few classes that have a guy that only needs one name. That's Diogo and Emmanuel Hunter when we come back on Primetime Muscle. All right, we're back and we're switching it up on Primetime Muscle from classic physique to men's physique. And we're talking about two of the guys that are making big strides, especially at last year's Olympia. I'm going to say it one way, Diogo Montenegro or Jogo Montenegro.
Jogo Montenegro.
And the other one, who I talked to at great length at last year's Olympia, Emmanuel Hunter, who I believe is one of the Global Formulas guys.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's give a shout out to our Global Formulas CEO,
Jacob Frank.
Jacob Frank, for sponsoring the Olympia, sponsoring Wings of Strength. We had him here last year. We're going to bring him back with the Louis Vuitton tie.
A lot of energy, like one of the best home gyms I've ever seen. Crazy good. Anyway, these two guys, Emmanuel said, a lot of guys didn't give me any credit, and then I think it was Texas where he went and just blew everybody's mind.
I've judged him quite a few times. He placed many times second place, but I think he's now peaking at the Olympia. He places top 4, and now he was going to the Arnold, highest ranked competitor. I think there's a chance this guy can move up because he has a similar physique to Brandon Hendrickson. He's quite wide on top with a small waist and the abs. The issue has been conditioning, quite like Brandon Hendrickson, especially from the back. But this guy is a freak.
Well, he's about 6 inches, 7 inches shorter than Brandon Hendrickson, so that'll make it easier.
Is he?
Oh, yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, I'm 99% sure.
Are you sure?
He's going to be pissed at you.
Emmanuel Hunter.
That might be one of
I
those.
Think they're on the same.
Isn't Brandon Hendrickson like 5'11", 6 foot?
No.
You're confusing with Aaron Banks.
No, Banks
No.
is about 6'2".
Oh, man. Nico, do not edit this, Nico. Okay? I know it's your favorite boy, but do not edit this one.
So while we figure this out, these two guys duked it out last year. Conditioning was not a problem for Emmanuel, that is for sure.
Yes, no, but here's the thing. He nailed his conditioning, broad, great. Everything was great. I think he was holding maybe a film of water. The key question is he's got a lot of muscle. He's a thick dude. With the new weight, can he come in and fit into the men's physique category? That is the question.
It's so funny you should say that because I always think about that about Jogo. I always look at Diogo. Can he make the new weight? Because when he comes out, he is about that wide, and he's got the teardrops. He's got full quads. He's a complete bodybuilder.
But what I like that it's going to even out the balance of the physique, and that's one thing I was always looking at this class like I wish they were more balanced, and I think this is going to be the right recipe for more balanced physique, especially like for Emmanuel. I think and I think you can reshape your body. You can reshape. Maybe bringing the triceps, then the arms down a little bit. You could totally reinvent your whole physique now.
I'm going to tell you this. Diogo Montenegro was missing size, and he gained size. Now, the thing is, Tim, he doesn't have girth, which works in his favor. He is wide and he's got detail. But if you look at him from the side, he doesn't have the girth that some of these guys have.
Sort of like Gumby.
Like an angelfish. When they turn to the side, they disappear.
You're doing well with Brazil.
No vacation to Sao Paulo for me this year.
One-way trip to Brazil. Don't worry, they're very loving. They'll take care of you.
I'm sure.
They would rip your hair apart. But Diogo he's like a board. He's got width and he's got detail. What he doesn't have is the girth, which works in his favor with the new measurement. And I think he'll be just fine. He could have better abs, in my personal opinion, and continue to work on the upper chest. Where did Emmanuel Hunter beat him? On the upper chest. He's got thicker chest. Look at that big piece of top sirloin right there. That's a lot of upper chest workout, and that's where Diogo needs to get him. Now, if you look at Emmanuel Hunter's back, which I've judged him before, I've put him in second, and he was like, Tarek, what do I have to do to place first? When you're going against Aaron Banks, Brandon Hendrickson, and a highly improved bromance Ryan Terry of Tim Wilkins, you're gonna have to have separation on the back. And I'm not seeing enough separation to go against Aaron Banks, Ryan Terry, and Brandon Hendrickson. This is your category.
This is my category.
Lose some followers.
I stand by this. Well,
if this guy was doing if you put like a 45-degree bench, get those dumbbells out, and utilizing that lower trapezius area, that's going to help him make a lot of pop. And something like that can easily get you up in the standings with your judgingship like you do.
I just think like that middle picture of Diogo, I just think it's a bad picture because I think when I picture him more like he is on the end, where he is, to me, he's very full, very big, bodybuilder big. He almost there's some guys that look like classic physique in board shorts. He's a big guy to me. When I see him come out from that backstage and hit that first pose, and he hits it almost straight on. Some of those guys, Ryan Terry hits it straight on. Still has the guys. This is not like it's men's wellness.
Go ahead,
we couldn't run a whole episode with you bringing your boy Ryan Terry. Go ahead and talk to us about Ryan Terry.
Reigning Physique Olympia, by the way.
He even did a little bit of his foot, like
reigning Physique Olympia. Hey, it's not Jennifer Dory. I'm going to give you that one.
Or Angelica.
Thank you. At least I'm staying in a men's category. So these guys, I don't think Emmanuel Hunter is going to have as much trouble staying in the category with his height and weight. I'm wondering if Diogo, he just to me feels, that is more accurate. Those arms, those delts are massive. The width is there. It's just a very complete physique, and knowing that he's got good sized legs under there, and now those shorts have to be a little shorter to show that the medialis, show that teardrop.
Come back here. Maybe you take a step back.
Some more thickness would be great, I think.
Look at the width of Emmanuel Hunter compared to Diogo. Emmanuel has more width, and also you can see that he's got more muscle on that back. Diogo doesn't have as much thickness on that back. This looks a bit thicker.
Yeah.
You know?
It was the angle. So, to your point, though.
Emmanuel needs some calves urgently, let me tell you. Emmanuel. Hunter. Get some calves going here, okay? You got amazing chest, incredible back. Get some of these calves a little bit bigger.
The balance.
Yeah.
So, looking at him, though, if he can come up with some calves, I'm sure he'd be very happy to be compared to Brandon Hendrickson. And to be thought of in the class that could be in the top 2 or 3. How long until he's there?
Well, here's the deal. Last year's 4th place. Do you remember who was 4th place last year?
Was it Aaron Banks? No. He was the Olympia. So last year it was Brandon, Aaron.
Just come to me.
Yes.
Come to me.
Talk to me, Matt.
Last year, Charjo Grant was 4th place. Where did he end up? Not in the top 10.
Oh.
Not in the top 10. If I'm not mistaken, Charger. Edivan Palmeira was 5th place. Where did he end up? Out of the top 10. So if you're placing 4th and 5th at the Olympia, do not feel like everything is going to be handed to you. There's so many great guys coming up that things can change very quickly. And all they have to do is to look at the guy that placed like them the previous year to see what happened.
Well, I do want to shout out, though, since you brought up Charles Grant. Big military promotion. I've been thinking he made lieutenant colonel. Has to be the highest ranking IFBB pro in the history of the league, as far as military ranks.
Congratulations to Charles Grant. As you guys know, the Olympia supports the military to the fullest. And actually, we have here a great military man, Tim Wilkins.
Great military
retired
stories,
United States Marine. And Charles Grant, man, you make us so proud. And I saw his family was there. So thank you for your service. Tim, thank you for your service.
If I was still in, I can show you exactly what it would be like interacting with Charles Grant. As he walked through, I'd be holding the door and saying, "Good afternoon, sir. Good morning, sir," and closing the door when he walks through. That's where I ranked compared to Charles. But nonetheless, guys, it is a beautiful thing to see these guys just poised right outside that top 5. Emmanuel now in 4th has to requalify, correct?
Yes, he has to requalify because now he's only the top 3. Emmanuel Hunter is, he needs the qualification to go back to the Olympia. But listen, he's been to the Olympia many times. I would not be surprised if he finds that qualification quite easy.
I wouldn't doubt that either. Guys, wow, it just always goes by so fast. We love talking classic physique. We definitely love talking men's physique. That is my category. So, and as soon as you said get some calves, I started to sweat a little, Chris. Calves. There's that meme going around, guys. I don't know if you've seen it, where the guy says, "I can't believe my chest is only trained twice a week," and the guy says, "I can't believe I'm only training abs once a week," and then it shows his calves. You guys get trained? Because they're not getting touched at all. No, so I'm trying to kill them, and they just don't want to grow.
Get them 4 days a week, man. 4 days a week on the calves, at least 4 or 5 days a week on the abs.
All right, then.
How many times a week you doing the abs?
3 or 4 right now, yeah.
Isn't that the most prominent muscle that in your category?
Oh, yeah.
So let's get on it, buddy. Every other day.
You can every other day.
Yeah,
all right.
every other day.
Calves and abs it is. All right, folks, hit your calves and abs, and I hope you enjoyed your cardio session with us on Primetime Muscle. As always, like, subscribe, share, comment. Please tell us people you loved on this episode, other people you think we should talk about on the show as well. Judge?
Great to be here. Guys, there's no better show than Primetime Muscle. We got the stars. We got the master of ceremony. We got the judge. We don't back down. We dissect physiques. We don't just analyze it.
Let's go. Let's go.
The real deal, Chris Cormier.
Hey, man, I am handling it like a pro.
As always.
I was under the weather a little bit, but I'm hanging in there, guys.
All right. Well, Chris has had his own personal climate change.
Not about me.
We will see you next time on Primetime Muscle.